Can you hear me? No, you're good. Can you hear me? Oh, shoot, I've got to turn this off. No, you're good. Can you hear me? Shoot. How do I turn this off? Here we go. Mute. There's mute. Huh?
How long will you be in Florida this year?
Till March 6th. I know, right? Got to call him today because, like, it's Miami time. They got the lease on Monday. I haven't heard anything. This is the third year we've been there. I'm sure it's fine, but it's Miami. You got to call him and say, I'm coming Tuesday. Okay, there's a new setup. There. It now has a magnet that goes inside your shirt.
Wow, seems like a lot. See how this works.
I know. You sent me just text me this morning. Said, in case you set it up.
I don't know, seems weird. It doesn't seem like it's gonna work, but let's see. So what's going on, y'all? Anything you want to do today?
Neck and
Okay. Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm moving a little bit slow today. I'm a middle-aged man that lives in a young man's life, but so I hurt myself a little bit yesterday, so I'm feeling it. But I decided long ago I'm willing to burn out as compared to rust, right? So I'm going for it. So sometimes shit happens. I tell you all the time, right? You want to be an adult athlete, and doing yoga like this is being an adult athlete. Shit goes wrong sometimes, right? It just is. That's why, yoga being mindful certainly sets us in the right direction, right? Because we're conscious of the things that we're going to do. You always hear me make my little joke, we're not AMREPing here. We're not doing as many reps as possible, right? That's not a thing. So we want to do everything in alignment, right? The best that we can in the moment. That's our goal in yoga. So, keep that in mind because shit happens fast, right? Real quick. You just have to keep that in mind when you're starting to get into some of these edges, right? And that's like the challenge is going to be in all your movement, not just in yoga and anytime you exercise. How do you get to the edge without going a little too far? Or make sure you're getting far enough, right? Obviously, I went a little bit beyond the edge and, I'll feel that for a day, but I'll remember and next time I'll learn from that, right? And that has to be the goal. You don't forget this shit, you remember and you adapt a little. So, let's play. Now, that doesn't mean that I want you all to be to shelter yourself, right? That's not what it's about. It's just recognizing what the moment is, right? What's it asking you? Just like certain parts of class, some days you do wheel. But what do I tell you all about when I need my deepest back bend? It's definitely not wheel. It's not walk down the wall. It's supported bridge, right? So you got to think, sometimes taking a step back is actually bringing you 2 steps forward, right? So let's play. Take a nice seat, close the eyes, sit up tall. Because both sides, right, can be a little heavy. And they can dominate. Because it's easy to not go hard enough. And it's easy to go a little bit too hard. So the first thing we're going to do to help keep us in the moment, the breath. And in yoga, the breath is going to initiate everything. We're going to attempt to move with our breath. It's what's going to create that tempo, the rhythm of our practice. It's going to let us know when that moment is here to find muscle energy or find organic energy. It's going to let us recognize the transitions, the time in between. So in the simplest form, just listen to yourself breathe. And then we do our little refinement. So listening to yourself breathe is already a refinement, so you can stay here if you want. Or you can count out or you could slow down the beginning of the inhale and push a little more on the end of the exhale. Or you could count out the breath. So if the inhale is 2 or 3 seconds, make the exhale the same, 2 or 3 seconds. Or maybe you find Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is where the air rebounds off the back of the throat. Lean back a little bit, sit up tall. Feel the sit bones root. Now take a nice inhale and fill the ribs. And think like a cylinder. You're filling front to back, top to bottom, side to side, right, all directions. And you're feeling the shoulders, the shoulder girdle especially, come up in line, the shoulders in line with your base of your neck. So that girdle is supported from underneath. Let the head and the throat slide back a little bit. Let the chin come down just a touch. And now just breathe here. And notice how hard it is. It's a challenge to hold this position. Because that misalignment of just crunching the belly and rounding the upper back and letting the shoulders come forward and the chin, right? It's always trying to dominate. So little by little, we build up and we hold that space. The next inhale, let the arms lift. And let the exhale bring the fingertips and the knuckle pads together. Now push your hands together and use that energy. When you push your hands together real strong, you're going to feel it run up your arms and up into your shoulders and your chest and your upper back. Now take another breath. Fill the ribs. Feel how you can get even more expansion. And then one time together to initiate our practice. Together the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Om. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. Inhale, lift the head, open the eyes, release the hands. On an inhale, take the arms up. Pull the belly in, pull the shutters closed. Take the head and the throat back. Take the arms back. Yep. And then the right hand comes out to the side, the left hand to your head. Take that little side bend in the neck. And then remember, you can get into your upper traps by peeking like if you had a shirt pocket. Or you can start to get into SCM, this chunky muscle here, if you look up a little bit. Inhale, come back up, release the hands. Next inhale, take the, swap the legs. And then take the arms up. And pull the belly in. Shutters close. When you close the shutters, that's when you feel that thoracic spine lift, like you're getting tall. Head and throat back. And then the left hand comes out to the side. You're turning the palm like up towards the sky. The right hand is going to palm the head. And then you're going to take that little bit of a side bend. If it feels good to stay here neutral, stay here. If it feels better to go shirt pocket or ceiling, whatever feels good. Exhale, release. take one of your hands and you want to turn it this way. Right at the bottom of your skull, there's this occipital. That's the hinge, right? So you can take your hand right underneath there. Yep. Now, with your opposite hand, you're going to bring it to your chin. As you draw this back hand up to the sky, draw the chin towards your chest. That's the bones decompressing, right? This is the muscles. Yeah, we're taking the bones on the ride a little bit, but this is where we're really decompressing through those vertebrae. And then exhale, release, and spin around all fours. Hands an inch or two in front of your shoulders, knees an inch or two behind your hips. Pointer fingers are straight forward or turned out. Toes are curled here, so the heels are pointing straight up to the sky. They're going to try to do this. So you're going to sweep those inner heels out. Then you're going to hug the shins in. You're going to pull your heels to your butt. So you're feeling a lot of energy running up the legs. It's going to root here into the hips. In the hands, as you spread the fingers and you claw into the fingertips and the knuckle pads, hug them into the midline. Then hug your forearms into the midline. Then squeeze your biceps. And you got all that energy coming up the arms into the shoulders and the chest and the upper back. Pull the belly in, pull the shutters closed. So the bottom of your ribs, top of your abs, close them. And now breathe. Start to expand through the ribs, all directions. And then when you're ready, oscillating cat-cow. So that's where we're going to come up, back, and around. You can even look up. And then the exhale, you're going to come forward and under. Up, back, and around. Forward and under. Let's do 5 each way. Now taking all the vertebrae here through their full range of motion. So I do this a lot of times with y'all into the lumbar spine or for that sciatica. Here, as you look, even in the upper body, right, you're letting that thoracic spine, you're letting that neck work through all those ranges. And then when you do 5, come to a neutral position, take a breath. When you're ready, side 2. If you're new to this, I usually work the lower body, right? So you could take the upper body out of this. Today, I threw the upper body in there because we wanted to work that upper body and the neck, the thoracic spine and the neck. So, yes, you want to look up, you want to look down. But if it gets too confusing, just work the hips here. Now, this is my last one. When you're done with your last one, we'll meet back to that all fours. When I'm in this all fours, right, I'm in low mountain. So I want to be hugging all the muscles that I have into the bones, right? Everything's really solid. There's no hanging out here, right? This is full-on isometric engagement. Now take a couple breaths here. Then take your knees wide and your big toes to touch, and then bring your sit bones back to your heels for child's pose. Let the arms come overhead here. Push the hands down and bring your sit bones towards your heels and root them in. Now activate the upper body. So in child's pose, we tend to chill. Here we want to engage it a little bit. So hug the hands in, just like we did before. When you hug the forearms in, lift the forearms up off the floor. Lift the inner biceps up off the mat. Slide your head and your throat back so your forehead is off the mat. Now soften your chest down a little bit. And you feel that work happen in your upper back between your shoulder blades, north to south, so from your head to your butt. Now as you look forward, walk your hands towards the right side of your mat. And then root down into that left sit bone, but start to peel up that left side body, up the left side of your back, your spine, up the left arm, up and out of the crown of the head. Let the inhale come back to center, soften down the middle. When you're ready, look forward, feel all that work in your upper back. Then walk your hands towards the left. Breathing into those right side of the ribs towards the front right corner of the mat and feeling that big expansion as maybe you walk your hands to the left a little bit more to then move into that space. And let the inhale come back to center, soften down the middle. Next inhale, come up, all fours, hands and knees. Lock in that low mountain. When you're ready, step back to plank. And then back to downward dog. You can bend your knees in downward dog if that feels a little bit better. Even on the first one, you always hear me say soften the dog. So you bend your knees a little bit. Maybe you pedal your heels. Maybe you swivel side to side a little bit. You just kind of feel where you're at. And then come to a neutral position. If you want to keep the knees bent, keep them bent. If you're going to try to straighten your legs in downward dog, you want to hug the hands in, just like we've already done today. We want to lift the forearms and the inner biceps. We want to slide the head and the throat, like forward to the front of the room so that your cheeks or your ears are in line with your biceps. Now, as you push your hands forward, your chest comes back towards your toes. That's the upper body. Now let's work the lower body. Engage the legs and then start to straighten them. Maybe start to reach from the hips down the back of the legs and out of the bottom of the heels. And then the inhale is going to come forward to plank and back to downward dog. We're going to come forward to plank and back to downward dog. Now put this with the breath. We want to get 5 of these. I do this with you all the time, right? We're working a little more dynamic. We're taking those muscles through the range of motion in the shoulders and the chest and the upper back and the side bodies. Because that's a good way to get these muscles to release. Now, I'm on my 4th one. Here's my 5th one. As you come forward to plank, let the exhale lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. So squeeze those shoulders back. Take them down away from your ears. Let the back of the heart come forward out of the front of the chest. Let the exhale lower the chest or back to chaturanga. Push up through plank. Back to downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back. Step it through. Lunge. High on your fingertips are your blocks. Front knees on top of the ankle. And it's tracking this second toe, the one next to your big toe. So if your knee's blowing in the side, you're going to widen it out. If it's blowing out the outside, you're going to hug it in. Now keep pushing down into your feet and charge your legs up. What's up? I want this left thigh to keep lifting up, but I want this right one to soften down like I'm trying to get it parallel with the floor. Yep. Now reach out of your back heel. Reach forward out of the front knee, forward out of the crown of the head, even side to side. And then exhale, lower the back knee. Start dragging the knee forward. Inhale, come up. If you need to stop and plug the arms in, stop. Then take the arms up overhead. Now, here's where the shutters try to blow open. Pull the shutters closed. Yeah. Now, reach up through your thumbs. Then maybe curl back under the shoulder blades. Keep going up and back. Let that front knee come forward if it moves back on you so it stacks up on top of the ankle. One more breath. Then let the exhale come down to the floor of the blocks, flip them up, and then shift your hips back. Come to baby Hanuman. So baby Hanuman is just kind of like coming at a lunge and shifting back, but I know some of you want to move the back knee back a little more. It might be more comfortable for you. So just move this back knee back another inch or two if that feels better to you. Now, if you stay up straight, like in Hanuman or in baby Hanuman, you're working this back leg a little bit more. If you want to get into the back of the front leg, you're going to look forward so the spine gets nice and tall. You could even walk the blocks in front of you a little bit here, like so they're kind of like in line with your shin, and then you can fold to the inside of that right leg. But stay active here. Keep pushing out of the big toe mound. Keep hugging into that big toe mound side of the foot. So the toes keep staying straight up to the sky. Now keep the spine long because it's going to try to do this. So don't look to the middle of your mat. Look out in front of your right foot. You're not going to get out there, right? But you're going to aim for that. And that's going to keep the spine long. One more breath. As you look forward, bend into that lead knee. Lift the back knee as you place the hands down. Lift the back knee, downward dog. Sorry, I'm slow, y'all, but it's just where I'm at today. Ugh. I'll work through one vinyasa. Stay with your breath. You get back to downward dog, take a breath here, then reach the left leg straight back, step it through, lunge. See, this is what tends to happen. We try lifting this back thigh up so much that it actually starts to extend the knee here, right? And then this happens. So split the work here. Don't just lift this one up. Soften this one down. I talk about this all the time with y'all. This is where you're going to find the balance, right? You could keep working the shit out of this leg. It's only going to go so much, right? Once it's rooted up, it's rooted up. Now we got to bring this one down to help balance this out. And then you could reach back out of the heel and forward out of the knee and forward out of the crown of the head. One more breath. Then slowly lower the knee. Remember, you got like 2 or 3 seconds, whatever your breath is. When you're ready, come up, keep dragging the knee forward, keep pulling the belly button to the spine. And you're gonna feel from that, the stretch get better in the front of that right thigh. Then if you pull the shutters closed, right now you're getting the psoas to lift. Now you can curl back on it a little bit. And as you keep dragging the knee forward, keep pulling the belly button to the spine, keep breathing up above the waist to get tall on the inhale, and then maybe curl back in the pose and just feel that get deeper in the front of that right thigh. One more breath. And then slowly exhale the hands down. Shift the hips back. Nice, y'all. And then remember, you can stay up tall here, okay? Or if you want to fold down the inside of that left leg. But keep hugging in so that your kneecap and your toes are pointing straight up to the sky. What wants to happen? The foot wants to fall to the pinky toe side of the foot. So you don't let that happen. That's external rotation, right? You keep hugging in. But the kneecap is really going to be the key here. One more breath. And then as you look forward, bend into that lead knee. Place the hands down, lift the back knee. Downward dog, move through one vinyasa. Your breath. Go slow, right? Your breath is still probably 2 or 3 seconds long here. So you got a lot of time to move through. What I say all the time, like in life, sometimes 2 or 3 seconds isn't that long, but in yoga, 2 or 3 seconds is a long time. We get a lot of shit done in 2 or 3 seconds. A lot of connection, right? A lot of extension. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up, take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back that little bit. Feeling that work in the upper back again. Feeling the peel come up the belly, come up the chest, come up the front of the neck. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, fold, forward fold. So see from the side here, in forward fold, you're trying to line up the outside of your hip with this little bump on the outside of your knee, with this little bump on the outside of your ankle. That's trying to make one line. So if you look to the person next to you, right, you probably can see how that's lining up. If I'm back too far, it looks like this. Now I'm not lined up anymore. If I'm too far forward, it looks like this. Now I'm not lined up anymore. So you want to find where that sweet spot's going to be. Now charge the legs up so you pull the energy up them. Look forward, pull it up through the core, pull it up into the upper back, and now go ahead and fold in the pose even a little bit deeper. So when you look forward, you make the space, and then as we exhale and fold, we move into the space. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back that little bit. Let the inhale come up. Exhale, hands behind your back. Take your feet so that they're about shoulders width or maybe mat's width if you want even a little bit wider. Now before you pull your shoulders back, take a nice big breath here. Fill the ribs, yep. Now take the shoulders back. Now we'll get a little more like dynamic in this forward fold. So on the exhale, you're gonna fold. Maybe the arms start to reach up overhead. Inhale, you're gonna come up. Your exhale, fold. Your inhale, come up. Keep it going. Stay with your breath. Keep looking out in front of you as you fold. That's going to make you work the spine more. It's going to put you into the hip hinge more. So then at the very end, when the upper back starts to round, it's in a good position. Let's do one more. And when you come up, exhale, release the hands. Wiggle the feet back in. Bring the right arm in front. Plug the arm in. Just take it across your body a little bit. See, if I go all the way over here, see me pull the arm back out of the socket? We just spent time putting it in, right? So hold it in there. Let that left arm come up to meet it. And you're going to feel this stretch right across the medial delt. That's your middle shoulder muscle right there. Exhale, release. Inhale, the arms in front. Plug in. Take it across the body. Yep. If you do this, you miss out on the stretch. So keep this back. Yep, you see, I only am coming about midway. I can do this, but this is me disengaging. That's me ripping the shit out of my rotator cuff, really. Exhale, release. Sit back as the knees bend. That doesn't sound like something we want to do, right? Maybe curl back a little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Right hand to the outside of the left calf. Left hand to fingertips. You could be here in your block. You could be on your hip. Some of you want to reach up. Go for it if you want to reach up. Inhale, come back to center. Soften down the middle. And then swap the hands. So left to the outside or right. Now be careful the hips aren't going back too far. They're not coming forward too much, right? You got to find where that sweet spot's going to be. Inhale, come back to center. It's kind of everything we're working on today, right? How do we find that sweet spot? Sit back as the knees bend. Swing the arms up. Take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. Right leg forward, left leg back. Triangle. So you could always bend into this lead knee if you're not sure what your distance is in triangle. See, I was a hair too short. So once I bend into this position, which I know a little bit better, right? Now I can straighten that leg and I'll know where to be on my distance here. Now, the common tendency is that this left hip wants to come forward in the left thigh. So take the left hip and the left thigh back. Yep. Take the arms out to the side. Breathe and get nice and tall. We're peeling up out of the waist. Then when you're ready, hinge at the right side of your hip. Bring the hand down to the block or the floor. Keep dragging your feet towards one another as you go down. That'll keep the hip from popping. I've been trying to work on that with y'all the past couple weeks. So you got to keep pulling your front heel back and your back arch forward, especially as you're going down. But throughout the whole pose, there should be that connection. Now keep opening that right side body up. So maybe squeeze that left side body to get the right one to open. Maybe look up the arm. Now breathe. Then come up tall. Inhale. Yep, bend into that lead knee. Warrior two. Elbow to the thigh. Sweep that left arm up. Utthita Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. If you want to take the hand down to the block or the floor, feel free. If you want to keep the arm on the elbow, wherever you feel good at. Start opening the inside of that right thigh. So you're going sit bone to heel. Or you're sweeping the heel to the left and you feel that knee peeling open to the brick wall. Maybe you start to look up right into that left bicep. One more breath. Inhale, come up into warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Step forward. Nice, y'all. Side two. Left leg forward, right leg back. This time take the right thigh back, the right hip back. Bring the arms up to the side, spread the fingers. Yep, breathe. If we don't come up out of the waist, there's nowhere for us to hinge into. So now when you peel, now hinge the left side of the waist. And now breathe. If you're on the inside of your foot, it tends to be a little more therapeutic, a little more accessible. If you're behind your foot, another little challenge, but everybody keep pushing the big toe mound down. Yep, maybe start to look up towards the sky. Now, settle into the pose. So turn to your breath. One more. Now, as you push down into that left heel, inhale, come up tall. Yeah, because we don't want to be all crunched down, right? We want to hold that lift. Now, bend into the lead knee, control that. Yep, then the elbow to the thigh, control that. And sweep the bicep up along the cheek, control that. Yes, then play with the pose. Maybe the hand goes down. Maybe you pull the belly and the shutters closed and you rotate. So you start to take the top of the ribs back and the bottom of the ribs forward. And maybe you start to look up and soften the face. Settle into the pose. One more breath. And then inhale, come up to that warrior two. And then straighten the front leg. Step forward. Let your thumbs come to heart center. Let them flick your heart out in front of you. Let your eyes close. Tadasana, so mountain pose throughout the body. But turning back to the breath. Settle in the mind. And then gently open the eyes. Sit back as the knees bend. Swing the arms up. Big reach. Maybe curl back a little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Now we talked about balancing the feet here, or lining up the hips. Start with the feet, right? So that was heel to the ball of the foot. Now the side to side is going to be lift the inner arches up. You're going to feel a little bit of weight come to the outer edge of the foot. We want that. But more importantly, you're going to see the middle of your ankle line up with your second toe. That's where we want the ankle to be. That's where the joint should be settling in. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Sit back as the knees bend. Swing the arms up. Big reach. Maybe curl back. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. Tree pose. So root down into your left foot, left leg. You're going to take the right leg, open up the hip, and bring the toes down, either here, low on your leg, or you're going to take it high in your thigh. One's not better than the other. But no matter where you're at, you're pushing your foot into your thigh, but you're pushing your thigh into your foot. So both ways. Now take this left hip back. Yeah, don't worry about the right knee right now. Bring your hands in front and push them together. Now the upper body is going to feel like we have control. Keep breathing up out of the waist, because remember, we got to peel. Now go right sit bone to right heel. Or sweep your heel forward, and your knee's going to peel out. Yep. You know we're going to play, so lean back into that heel so your toes can move. Maybe the arms go up. Now, you want to challenge yourself? Start to look up the wall to where the ceiling and the wall meet. You want to go even further? Start to look up towards the sky. You want to go even further? Close your eyes. And open your eyes. Exhale, release. Swap side two. Nice, y'all. Start from the foundation, right? If you don't get the root set, so spread those toes. And then you could lift the knee, open the hip. Wherever feels good. This time the right hip goes back. See, my left knee comes forward right now. I want to square my hips. I don't care about this right now. I didn't even open this. Remember, we're going to start open this when we do the sit bone to the heel. Then maybe the hands start to push together so we feel light now, controlled in the upper trunk. You should be able to move your toes on your right foot. Yeah. Then we play a little more. Sit bone to heel, right? Then we go arms up. Yep. Then you start to work your way up the wall if you still need another challenge to where the ceiling and the wall meet. You got that, start to look up even higher. Start to look totally overhead. You got that, close your eyes. Spread your fingers, keep hugging in. And then open your eyes, exhale, release. Nice, y'all. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, awesome. Maybe curl back that little bit. Let the inhale come up, exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Move through your vinyasa 3 times. Stay with your breath. Control everything. So accelerate, decelerate, and stabilize, right? Start, stop, and hold. Now this is my third. We'll meet back in downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back. Step it through. Pigeon. This is everything I got right now. Talk about an edge. I'm there. Now stay active from your feet. So you're pushing out of your big toe mound. You're pulling the pinky toe side of the foot back. Hug in. Now breathe up out of the waist. I know a lot of you like to fold. So if you fold, walk your hands out in front of you and control it as you hinge. Instead of this. That's not going to make you leave feeling better than when you came, right? We want to be out here. We want that spine to stay long. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. Pops is in the hospital, so sorry. It's that kind of week right now. It's all coming to a head. And then inhale, come up. Bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand. Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. Start to curl open. So now I got the twist, right? So the twist is first. So twist. So don't worry about pulling the heel to your sit bone. Then, after you got the twist, start to draw the heel. This left hand, see, it's out towards the side of my mat. So I'm using it like a kickstand. As I open the chest even further. Now pull the belly in and pull those shutters closed. Yep, one more breath. Now watch the boing as you release. Place the hands down. Lift the hips. Unwind that right leg. Reach it back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Come forward to plank with the leg up. 10 seconds. So keep reaching out of your heel on your lifted leg. Yeah, it'll extend, help you extend out of the hip. And then lower the leg, push back, downward dog. Take a breath. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, pigeon side 2. Yep, nice and wide with that left knee. Then keep pushing down and hugging in. So you're pulling the front knee forward and the back, and the front knee back and the back knee forward. And then get nice and tall here. Breathe up out of the spine, and then maybe hinge. Yeah, nice poses, y'all. Same thing. Keep looking out in front of your mat. Don't look to your shin, because then this is going to happen, right? If I look out in front of me, I get this energy for free just from looking out in front of me, right? This is the energy that we want. Even here, if I'm going to bring my forearms to the floor, it's here. It's nice and controlled, right? Instead of this. A couple more breaths. But now remember, right? Yoga is not a demand. It's an invitation. Honestly, if you wanted to do this shit, you got the right to do it, right? But you got to ask yourself, is this my edge? Is this where I want to be? Probably not. All right, inhale, come up, bend the right knee, reach back with the left hand, grab the ankle, the foot of the strap. Now see, I take my right hand and I go to the edge of my mat, maybe even off the mat if I need that space. And I turn the bicep forward so I root into the upper back. Now as I take the twist, I'm in the pose. And then as I draw the heel to the sit bone, I extend the pose. I've been working on this with you all the past few weeks about not pulling that heel to the sit bone too fast, right? You got to neutralize the pelvis in your quad stretches. That's belly button, the spine. And then watch the boing as you release. Come back to center. Take a breath. Lift the hips. Unwind that left leg. Reach it back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Downward dog. Now keep it up. Inhale, come forward to plank. 10 seconds. Power in those legs. Yes. Crew, these look awesome. Keep reaching out of your heel. We're trying to extend out of the hip. We're reaching forward out of the crown of the head. And then lower the foot. Push back, downward dog. Look forward. Bend your knees. Step or jump between your hands. Swing your arms up. Take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. All right, grab your mats, find a spot on the wall. We'll go upside down. If you're at home, you don't have the wall to kick up on, you can always lay on your back. And then with your knees bent, you just reach your heel to the sky, interlace the hands behind the thigh. You take a bunch of breaths here, and you can swap into side two. And take a bunch of breaths here. If you are at home or in the studio, it's not your day to invert. You're always welcome to do a pose that feels good to you or lay legs up the wall, right? Whatever you want to work on. I'll talk everyone through downward dog and L pose. And then those of you that want to do your handstands, your headstands. If you want to do Hanuman inversion, so Hanuman up the wall, you certainly can do that. Is anybody going to do Hanuman up the wall? So if you're not sure what it is, you'll watch Trina, okay? She'll show you how to bring the leg up the wall. It's like doing a split up the wall, okay? So you could see here, we walk back till we go into the split. Now see how the right hip is higher than the left? When that happens, she pulls her left foot off the floor. Now look at the right hip, it's square. Then she can reach the left foot back down, try to hold the space. Yeah. And then you come down and you swap into side two, right? Make sense? So if you want to work that, feel free. So if you're going to stick with me, all fours, hands and knees, feet are touching the wall. If you're going to go on your own, whenever you're ready, okay? So from all fours, take a couple breaths. We're in that low mountain, just like we were earlier. When you're ready, lift the knees and the hips, come to a short downward dog. Then step one foot up the wall, and then the second foot up the wall. Yep. Now with your knees bent, you'll be in downward dog. With your legs straight, you'll be in L pose. Those of you that are splitting, you're going up the wall in a Hanuman. Yeah. But everybody's bringing their chest towards the wall that their feet are on. In all three of those poses. Keep your chest coming to the wall that your feet are on. Yeah. And you should feel like the work happened in your upper back. Nice, y'all. Yeah. Well, try the headstand.
I can do a headstand, no problem.
Just do that. Yeah. Because that's going to be a little more like. Yeah, just be way more controllable. Yeah. You get your fix, right, from headstand.
I'm just afraid I won't be able to do it anymore.
You will. Nice, y'all. Yov, take your hips back and your legs forward. Andre, when your feet are going to hit the wall, push into your wrists. When your feet are going to fall to the middle of the room, push into your elbows. Does that make sense? So when whether we're in handstand, if we're in handstand, it's our hands. If we're in headstand, it's our forearms. Right? If it's in tripod, it's our hands as well. But think, when I'm upside down, right? I'm this way. Here's the wall behind me. And my legs are going to go to the wall, right? I'm going to push into my fingertips. It's going to bring me back this way. Or if my hands were down this way, I'm going to push into my wrists, and it's going to shoot me this way. If I'm falling this way, I'm going to push down into my elbows, or I'm going to push down into my knuckle pads, and that's going to bring me back the other way. That's why in handstand, you want to be here. Because here's the roots, right? Fingertips and knuckle pads, not heel of the hand. So you want to be able to go back and forth here. That's where you're going to get the balance forward and back. Give yourself like maybe another 30 seconds. Go for it if you're about to kick up. Yeah, now, fingertips are going to take you to the middle of the room. Knuckle pads are going to bring you to the bricks. A little more challenging with your hands, right? There's not as much surface space, so it's going to be a little more challenging, but that's the game, right? All right, let's meet on our backs. So I'm going to go in supported bridge today. That's where we're going to take the block at the sacrum, okay? If you're not sure where your sacrum is, it's here at the top of your pelvis. Okay, it's this solid spot here. Here's your pelvis, right? Here's your sit bones. It's the top of your pelvis up here. Here's my lumbar spine too high. Here's my crack too low, right in that solid spot. You can go low, medium, or high, whatever your flavor is going to be. Now, I'm going to talk everybody into bridge and wheel. But if you want to do supported bridge, you know you're always welcome to, right? I offer that all the time. So you'll set yourself up with the brick. If you're going to go into bridge, we're going to start on our backs, our knees are bent, and our feet are on the floor. Our head and our shoulders are back. Our sacrum is flat. Now, charge your legs up. Now, pull that energy into the upper trunk. Get the core to fire up. With the head and the shoulders back, take a breath, and then slowly lift the hips. Come to bridge. You can keep your arms along the sides in bridge like a robot. It gives you a little more support. You can interlace your hands behind your back. We made that shape today. So whatever feels good to you. Now, as you gently push the feet down and forward, you'll feel the back bend happen under the shoulder blades, right where it should happen. Let the knees reach forward. Let the upper palate of the mouth reach back. Let the throat open up. And then stay engaged as you lower down. If you're in supported bridge, you want to stay, stay. If you want to lower down, lower down. Take the feet wide, let the knees touch. One hand on your heart, one hand on your low belly. Now on the second one, those you that want to go supported bridge again, those you want to go bridge, those you want to go wheel. All right, I'll talk you into all of them. So inhale, open the knees, reset the feet. If you're going to go into supported bridge, take that block again. Bring it to the sacrum. If you're going to go bridge, we're starting feet hips width apart, right? Feel your heels with your fingertips so the knees are on top of the ankles. Same thing here with wheel. Now charge it up. Head and shoulders back. When you're ready, slowly lift the hips.
Now, if you're going to go into bridge here and you're interlacing the hands, make sure you swap. If left was under, right's under this time. If you're going to go into wheel, place your hands wide to the edges of your mat. You're going to turn your hands out. When you turn your hands out, you're going to see your elbows come in line with the outside of your shoulders. You want that. Now plug your shoulders back, push down to come up. Maybe pump your heart towards the wall that you're looking at, and you're going to feel your arms slide deeper onto your back. One more breath. Stay engaged as you lower down. Take the feet wide, let the knees touch. If the right hand was on your heart, left hand on your heart. Opposite hand to your low belly. And then just gently open the knees and windshield wiper side to side. When you balance both sides out, come to neutral. Hug the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Make a couple small circles. Feels nice, like a little massage on your sacrum or on your low back. Maybe a couple each way. And then come to a neutral position. Rock yourself up. Take your right leg straight out. Left knee bent. So we're in this position. Reach down to this right side, pull the sit bone back and out. Remember before we said we need the kneecap and the toes to be pointing straight up to the sky? Same thing here. This wants to happen. So I hug in. I even sometimes got to like pull the sit bone out, turn the thigh in. Now we're going to twist to the up knee. So you take your left hand behind you and your right bent elbow to the outside of the knee. Yep. Now push your left hand like back to you so you sit up nice and tall. Yeah. Now breathe and get tall out of the crown of the head as you then twist into the pose. Keep hugging that knee into the midline. So the elbow is helping, right? It's helping hug in. Keep hugging the big toe mound in on the straight leg. Keep breathing tall up out of the crown of the head and maybe twist even a little bit deeper into the pose. Maybe start to peek over the shoulder a little bit if that feels good through the neck. And then inhale, come back to center. Swap the legs. So see, this is what my leg looks like if I don't set it up. All right, see how I'm falling out to the side a little bit? So I reach down, I grab that sit bone, I pull it back and out. Maybe I even turn the thigh in a little bit, and here it all starts to line up. And then I take my right hand behind and my left bent elbow to my knee, top of my knee. And then I sit tall, yep, and then I start to twist. The belly's in, the shutters are closed, so we rotate through the spine. Here, my fingers spread, right, on this left hand. So everything is going to be engaged, which means everything's going to be able to be controlled. If it's not engaged, I'm not going to be able to control it, right? It's just going to be kind of going along for the ride. Couple more breaths, maybe peek over that shoulder again, working through the neck. If you have any neck issues, keep your head in line with your chest. And then inhale, come back to center. Take both legs out straight. Maybe reach down, pull the sit bones back, turn those thighs in. Notice how it's lining up. Yep. Inhale, take the arms up. Pull the belly in. Pull the shutters closed. Slide the head and the throat back. Take the arms back. Yes, maybe look up. And then exhale, hands in front. Lay flat back. Shit's harder than it looks, right? Take the arms up overhead, reach out of the legs. Take a nice stretch here. Feel all that space we just created. Then hug the right knee to your chest. Interlace the hands behind the thigh. Reach the heel to the sky. Try to root the back of your left thigh to the mat. One more breath. Now bend the knee. Roll towards the left hip. Keep the right shoulder down for the twist. The belly's in. The shutters are closed. Again, if your head's in line with your chest, you're looking up to the sky. And if you want to work through the neck a little bit here, you're going to look away from the bent knee. Inhale, come back to center. Hug your left knee in, take your right leg out, bring the back of the thigh to the floor. As you reach that left heel to the sky, interlace your hands behind your thigh. You're drawing your hands down your thigh like you're trying to root your femur, the head of your femur, right, into the hip socket. So you're just persuading it a little bit. Keep hugging the big toe mound side of the foot in on the right leg. And then bend the knee, roll towards the right hip. Keep the left shoulder down. Stay with the belly, stay with the shutters, so we get that nice twist through the spine. No manipulation through the ribs. Nice and tall, breathing up out of the waist to make the space, and then twisting into the space. Inhale, come back to center. Take both legs out straight. Reach the arms up overhead. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. And when you're ready, hug the knees to your chest. And then final pose, happy baby, Ananda Balasana. So take those knees nice and wide, wider than your shoulders. Keep the sacrum flat to the mat. This wants to happen. Sit bones are trying to go up to the sky. So keep the sit bones going down. You'll feel the sacrum root. Keep the knees wide so that they're wider than your shoulders. And then draw your knees towards your ears a little bit. And you get a nice opener in the inside of the thighs. You get a nice opener in the back of the hip. You could reach one leg out or both legs out if that feels good to you. And when you're ready, inhale the knees to center. Exhale the legs out straight. We'll take Shavasana. Beautiful practice, crew. Feel free to add or remove layers or props. I'll talk everyone through laying flat, but you're more than welcome to do a variation that feels good to you. And here as we lay back, we let the legs stretch out. Let the feet roll open. Bring the arms along the sides. Let the shoulders settle back. The open palm turns to the sky. As the head rests back, maybe let the eyes close and allow the tongue to soften from the roof of the mouth. We'll let the mind soften as it turns back to the breath. The exhale clears and removes and makes space. And the inhale draws in something new, to change. And the heart opens as it gets ready to move the practice into the yoga of life. Where we still look for that edge. We find where that sweet spot is. We continue to work and grow and improve and connect. Right up until we come back to the mat again to practice. And whether it's on the mat or in the yoga of life, no matter what the challenge, we take a breath, we set a foundation, we engage, and we express the best that we can in that moment. With each breath, a new moment. Begin here to draw in a deeper breath. Feel the breath washing over the body, from your toes to your fingers, the crown of your head to your heart. We reawaken that better version of ourselves. As the fingers and the toes wiggle, maybe let the arms and the legs stretch or reach or move in a way that feels good to you. Taking your time, moving slowly. When you're ready, you can hug your knees to your chest and just roll to the right side. Take a couple breaths here. When you're ready, you can push your hands down. As you sit yourself up, we'll meet together with our eyes closed and our hands in front of our hearts.
One more time to seal in our practice, our time together with our Kula, our yoga family. Together, the sound of Om. Deep breath in. We softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. For all of that hard work, that determination, that challenge, the love and the support you always give each other, it's to you that I bow. Namaste. Thanks, crew. Good to see everyone. You know, if you have any questions or anything, grab me before you leave. Something feels weird in your body, definitely get me before you leave. Maybe I'll see some of y'all tomorrow or Saturday. If not, I'll see you soon. Thanks, y'all. Home crew, you know if you need me, hit me up.